Hello everyone. May you always maintain your enthusiasm and patience as you nurture the little rose cuttings in your garden. Today, we continue with a natural method of rose cutting propagation, utilizing very familiar materials. This seemingly simple combination yields noticeable results in disinfecting the cut, stimulating the formation of new roots, and helping the cutting quickly adapt to its new environment. First, you need to prepare a healthy rose cutting, free from pests and diseases, with a sturdy stem and of moderate age. Cuttings that are too young tend to lose water easily and have difficulty rooting, while cuttings that are too old are slow to form their tissue. Once you have chosen a suitable cutting, proceed to remove all leaves and thorns. Removing leaves helps limit water loss and reduces physiological stress on the cutting during the rooting stage. Next, trim the flower stems, leaving them about 15 centimeters long. This ensures the stem remains healthy while still concentrating nutrients for root development. At the base of the stem, gently trim away a thin layer of bark to expose the growing tissue, thus stimulating the formation of new roots. Once the stems are prepared, we begin by preparing the first soaking solution using onions. Take about 40 grams of onion, chop it finely, and place it in a clean plastic cup. Onions contain many natural sulfur compounds with antibacterial properties, helping to clean the cut surface and prevent fungal infections. Add 500 milliliters of clean water to the cup and stir well to dissolve the onion's essence. Then, soak the rose stems in the onion solution for about 15 minutes. During this time, the base of the stem will be soothed, lightly disinfected, and prepared for the next steps. After soaking the onion for 15 minutes, add 2 teaspoons of coffee powder to the same solution. Stir well and let it sit for another 15 minutes. Coffee contains small amounts of nitrogen, potassium, and organic compounds that stimulate metabolism, helping the cuttings to revive after cutting. At the same time, the aroma and properties of coffee help to inhibit some harmful microorganisms in the solution. Once soaked for the required time, remove the rose cuttings from the mixture. Filter out all the onion and coffee residue, keeping only the clear liquid. This is a base solution rich in natural active ingredients, but it still needs further balancing to be suitable for the extended rooting period. At this point, take about 100 milliliters of beer and mix it thoroughly with the onion coffee solution. Beer contains yeast and a small amount of B vitamins, which help stimulate the growth of new root tissue. Next, dilute the entire mixture with clean water to obtain about 1 liter of the final solution. Ensuring the concentration is just right to avoid shocking the cuttings. Then, prepare a clean plastic cup and fill it with treated coconut fiber. Coconut fiber is a lightweight substrate that retains moisture well but is still well drained, making it very suitable for the cutting stage. Pour the onion coffee beer solution into the coconut fiber cup in enough quantity to achieve the necessary moisture level, not too dry, but not waterlogged either. Then, insert the rose cutting into the center of the cup, ensuring the base is buried deep and in even contact with the substrate. Gently press around the cutting with your hand to secure it, avoiding shaking that could damage the young roots during the rooting process. To create a stable environment for the cuttings, use a plastic bag or a clear plastic cup to cover the entire cup and the rose cutting. This covering helps retain moisture, reduce water loss, and create a favorable microclimate for the cuttings to develop. Place the pot in a cool, well-ventilated area, avoiding strong winds and direct sunlight. Gentle, diffused light will help the branch maintain its physiological function without heat stress. After about 10 days of proper care, you will begin to see very positive signs. New, vibrant green shoots will appear on the rose branch, plump and full of life. Upon gently checking the base, many new roots will have formed, appearing ivory white, succulent, and firmly attached to the coconut fiber. This indicates that the branch has successfully rooted and is capable of absorbing nutrients from the surrounding environment. At this point, you can replant the rose branch in a pot with good drainage. Using river sand as a growing medium to ensure more stable growth in the next stage. The method of propagating rose cuttings using onions, coffee, and beer is clear evidence that familiar everyday ingredients, if used correctly, can become invaluable aids for gardeners. Without the need for strong rooting chemicals or overly complex techniques. You can still create healthy rose cuttings with thick white roots and evenly developing shoots. Most importantly, this process helps you deeply appreciate the value of patience and meticulous care. Observing the cuttings each day, from their dormant state to the budding shoots, is an emotional journey, where joy comes not only from the final result, but also from the time, effort, and love you dedicate to the plant. Hopefully, with this method, your garden will become even more vibrant with the rose bushes you have propagated and nurtured yourself.